For Jack Webster, it was a 6th place yesterday. He starts on pole today. There he is on your screen. He will have Adam Al-Azhari, who starts alongside. Adam Al-Azhari, who's had some brilliant results today, but he was always starting 5th on the grid, which means he had the inside line going into turn number 1 and 2. He was always able to get into 2nd place, but can he do that from the front row of the grid? Let's find out in a few moments' time. The track that we're on, the Al Fassan International Sports Resort Circuit, opened in 2010 with Finn McLaughlin setting the lap record, 54.403. The track, 1,200 metres, 165 metre main straight, 18 metre back straight through turns 9 into 10. Track's only 8 metres wide. It is a wide circuit, but it narrows in places. Elevation of 5 metres around this twisty, demanding circuit with 17 turns, 11 to the right, 6 to the left, with 3 hairpins. The major overtaking opportunities here are in towards turn 1, 3 and 4, 7, 8, and 16 and 17. But we've also seen them through turns 12 as well, and in turn 10. We didn't think turn 10 would be one for drivers, but it certainly seems to work out. Top speed the drivers would reach is around about 110 kilometres an hour as they go into the braking zone of turn 10. The average speed around 80 kilometres an hour. When they go through the turn 9 bowl, it's absolutely flat out through there, and the best these drivers can do around the circuit. There you can see the final of the karts just making their way onto the circuit there. The rest of your drivers, you saw there, Alessandro Tedesca just going through. There is Johan starting a little bit further down in the order. Mario Bigliotti, big smile on his face as he looks up at the grandstand there. The 2:38 on your screen as well. Mohamed Menemni, also been a driver to keep an eye on throughout this, as Sofia Zamvari goes through our shot as well, starting this one from P35. There on your screen is the back of some of our drivers. There's Gabe Balanca, Peter Stiller, who you saw there walking away. Gabe Balanca, who had a spin in one of the qualifying heats earlier on, certainly had some good results though in the other races. Let's remind ourselves of those results because they certainly were interesting qualifying heats over the course of the day. Senior qualifying heat 1 certainly was an exciting one. A reminder of that one, it was Jack Webster who took the win. Adam Al-Azhari, who was 2nd place, and Austin Gale, who finished 3rd. There onto the grid comes Alex Powell, having a look at some of the machinery here. A driver who certainly knows his way around a track, and just expecting the drivers, congratulating the drivers starting on the front row. Adam Al-Azhari and Jack Webster. And for Alex Powell, the Mercedes Petronas F1 Team Junior driver, certainly a privilege to have him here watching alongside some of our other senior drivers here. There, the back of Jack Webster's helmet. Finished 6th in the final yesterday. Has got a challenge ahead of him here. There's Ross Upton, judge of fact, just making sure everyone is in the correct grid order. Nothing gets past this man here as he gets primed and ready to go for this race. There you can see some of the spectators in the grandstand there watching along. There's Finn McLaughlin, who starts this one 4th on the outside row. Representatives from F1 Academy here as well, getting some good pictures. Of course, top female drivers in this one, the top 3, get to be a good, get a good chance of seeing themselves in an F1 Academy car in the future. But a lot of work has to happen ahead of them here, as we saw a very good close-up there of Jack Webster, getting himself primed and ready. There on your screen, Austin Lee, getting himself sorted out. There is Adam Al-Azhari, starting this one P2. Didn't finish anywhere in the final. nowhere within the top 5. I think actually retired from the race as well, did Adam Al-Azhari this time around. He is not wanting that at all. He is wanting a win. Powell again still on the grid there, talking with some of the teams. There on your screen, Rafael Jesus, who starts this one third. Again, Rafael not anywhere on the podium yesterday in the final. Wants to change that today after having some good qualifying heat wins. Rafael Jesus finishing 4th in his first qualifying heat. Qualifying heat 2, see him finishing in 3rd position after a good start to his race, and then a 5th in the 3rd one. Martin Bean having a good chat now with Alex Powell as well. Alex Powell's appearing to be the most popular person on the grid at the moment. Before we get this final underway. 25 laps, this one. And for this man here, Finn McLaughlin, it's all his to play for here. He is your championship leader at the moment. He was the winner yesterday. But his race results today were a tough one. 10th in his first qualifying heat. Came back to 2nd in the second one. And then finishing in P6 in qualifying heat 3 for Finn McLaughlin. Christopher El Faghali, though, who starts on the 5th row, the inside row of row number 3. He as well having a good day. 8th place in heat number 1. Christopher El Faghali finishing in P6 as well in heat 2. And then another P8 in heat number 3. Making good moves all the way throughout. George Nassar, who would start alongside, finished 9th yesterday in the final. Was on the front row for these qualifying heats today after qualifying P2 on Monday. And George Nassar having a 5th place finish in qualifying heat 1. Would fall back a little further in the grid. There is George Nassar on your screen. Heat 2 certainly didn't go his way, finishing in P16. But would get a slightly better result with a P7 in qualifying heat 3. But of course, they were all down from his original starting spot. There you can see the driver of the 2-1-4 getting ready. Cooper Lyle. What can he do from his position? There is Suleiman Zamfari. Really looking forward to seeing what Suleiman can do here. The driver from Morocco, who finished 4th in the final yesterday, has just been flying his way through the field. Earlier on 13th in qualifying heat 1. It was 15th in qualifying heat 2. And then he would finish an impressive P3 in qualifying heat 3. He starts this one, P7, the inside of row number 4. And alongside this man here, Peter Stiller, the 248, finished 5th in yesterday's final. He himself has had a very challenging couple of races. 7th place after his starting qualifying position in heat 1. 10th place in heat 2. And Peter Stiller would then finish a little further down in P11 in heat 3. And this man here, Hamza Al-Fayez, also a driver to keep a close eye on. The 229 certainly had a good qualifying on Monday for Q2. Qualified P6 overall. And he's had some good results as well. Again, great to see the marshals out there still smiling away and ready to get going for this last final race. And I can tell you someone who is not going to be smiling, but he's going to be focused. And that is this man here, Emanuele Leodikis, ready to get going racing. Marshall's very happy, dancing away, in fact, out on their points. Good to see that they're ready to see this last senior race. Austin Gale as well, the driver who finished 3rd in yesterday's final on the podium. He's in the fight for the championship, but he needs to gain those positions as he currently starts P11 on this grid. The whistle blows, and we are nearing that time. The 30-second board goes up from Ross Upton, our judge of fact, as we get ready to start the final race of the week. Here we go at the Al Fassan International Sports Resort in Abu Dhabi. The temperature is hot, the sun is low, and the engines Get fired up. It's OKN Senior. It's the final. Let's take you through the starting lineup. Jack Webster from Australia, who finished 6th yesterday, starts on pole position with Adam Al-Azhari alongside Rafael Jesus and Finn McLaughlin. They go from row 2 with Christopher El Faghali and George Nassar on row 3. Suleiman Zamfari and Peter Stiller on row 4. From Hamza Al Fayez and Emmanuel Liadikis, who ran out the top 10 on row 5. Austin Gale and Gabe Balanka, they go from row 6 with Omar Ganoum and Austin Lee on row 7. Pip Casabene and Bernardo Benaldi on row 8. From Zachary Hurd, who finished 2nd yesterday in his final. He starts this one on the 9th row. He's got Mohamed Benemni alongside. Elizaveta Kozlova and Isaac Demelwig go from row 10 and round out the top 20. Maximus Jadasco and Cooper Lyle round out row 11. Brotak Stefan and Alessandro Tedesca round out row 12 from Romeo Nassar. And they're coming off the circuit, as I couldn't quite see the number, but one of our drivers, it's the 222 that's come off the circuit and come off the grid, and that is Jabbar Al-Sabah, who has come out for his final, but unfortunately the car didn't start up. Now they're going to try and get it going now, as several different mechanics coming together to work on it. They're going to give him an attempt to start it up here in the pit lane. Is it going to fire up? Marshall falls over and gets it going. Great dedication by all of the mechanics there. Brilliant to see, and luckily for Jabbar Al-Sabah, he will start this race, hopefully from his original starting position, which would have been 32nd place. Late Manamna as well from Saudi Arabia out there as well, from Marco Drittenpress, Arena Kanina, Sophia Samfari and Sal Zerpa, all out on track. The lights are on as we go racing here at the Alphasan International Sports Resort Kart Track. We head towards the red line here. From here, it's no overtaking. Ooh, and there's drivers just trying to get into position, and you can see there mechanics just saying, slow down, don't overtake, you pass the red line, don't do that. Well, here we go. Are we going? First time of asking. Lights do not go out. They are going round again. So a take 2 then for OKN Senior. Drivers just out of formation, maybe a little too soon on the allow pedal. And they will send them round again. Gives our drivers a little bit more time now to get focused, get ready. Here's the replay of that start. The front 2 were fine. It's the drivers in the back that I think we need to be worried about. Now there you can see a car whizzing round the outside. Now that is the 225 that I can see there. And I think that's Omar Ganoum. And he's very out of position because he was on the outside there of the corner. He's actually on the inside row on the 7th row of the grid. Race director Martin Bean then will be watching very, very carefully of our drivers coming round to make sure they're all nicely formed up. Yellow flags out as drivers head into the final couple of corners. This final about to get underway. Here we go then, nice and steady, nice and calm before the battle ensues. Webster on the left, Adam Al-Azhari on the right here. Both of these drivers were not on the podium yesterday in the final. Could we see a completely new top 3 in this final? Here we go. Lights go green, and we're racing down in towards turn 1. Sideways under braking goes Webster. As he sweeps to the outside, he holds on to the race lead, and it's a good start then from the entire grid as they all go wide on the exit over the brow of turn number 2. Big sideways moment there for Rafael Jesus. He's up into 2nd place. A brilliant start for Jesus, who now tries to fight his way through the rest of the field. The mechanics will watch on from the sidelines as they see this first lap unfold as everyone dives to the inside there. You can see Hamza Al Fayez under pressure from another driver there as Suleiman Zamfari goes through. You can see the hand gestures coming up to 239 there, just saying let's go, and that's Christopher El Faghali who's saying that. So Christopher El Faghali with, again, a good start as well, holding on to that position as round the outside it's been a bad start this time from Adam Al-Azhari. This is what we were talking about. He had the inside line going all the way through the qualifying heats, which meant he had the inside line going into turn 1. This was his first time today using that outside line. And I think he's just been scuppered by it just that little bit. Well, across the line they go, and it's Webster from Jesus, then it's Sanfari El Faghali, then it's Al-Fayez, then Nassar, Stiller, then McLaughlin, who's dropped down 4 places into P8. Yesterday's final winner in trouble here. Adam Al-Azhari is there in 9th place, and Austin Gale rounds out the top 10. Well, at the moment, Webster controls the race, and look at Suleiman Zanfari now. He's into 2nd place. I said watch out for him, the driver from Morocco, who's been looking absolutely flat out this weekend. He was dancing his way through the qualifying heats, and now he sees himself 2nd in this final, but there is still a long way to go, and a mistake there from Webster. He runs wide through 10. He leaves himself exposed to an attack here from Zanfari, but Zanfari does not attack just yet. Will he go to the inside here? No, he doesn't. Stays behind, and they've already got a good advantage from the rest of the field here as they break away. Now we're going to see an attack here to the inside. Goes Zanfari. They go wheel to wheel through turn 1, and Zanfari goes through. Webster just gives enough racing room, and he slots back into 2nd place. Superb driving from the both of them. And the driver from Morocco, Suleiman Zanfari, leads the way on lap number 3 in the final here. What a drive. Hamza Al-Fayez still there in P4 as well. Christopher El Faghali still there in 3rd place, who's latched up. This is absolutely superb driving from the entirety of the field. There you can see the marbles getting kicked up off the tyres. These tyres are absolutely screaming with how much they've been used and abused as they dance their way through again. Turns 9, 10, 11. In towards 12, down the hill they go, into the left room rights, and just nice and steady. And look at the control here from Suleiman Zanfari, just driving away and looking so controlled in that wagon. He's tucked in, he's humped up to the steering wheel, he's pushing. The adrenaline is pumping through his body right now, as well as everyone else trying to close these gaps. Here's a replay of the start with the live feed over to the right-hand side of your screen. And again, good getaway. A couple of karts going wide and kicking up the dirt in the background there. And how on earth did Suleiman Zanfari go from 7th into the race lead so early on? Positioned the kart perfectly. There you can see him on the outside there for turn 3. And the red and white helmet just slices it down the inside. Gets up to P3 before they even get towards turn 5. Superb drive. There you can see the 216 just getting a little bit out of shape and untidy. That's Romeo Nassar just in the mid-pack in the blue suit. There's McLaughlin to the inside, trying to get moved on Peter Stiller. Not happening, and McLaughlin again just going through. Changes though, as down the inside there was the change for 2nd place. Al Faghali going through, and then here for Suleiman Zanfari, wheel to wheel with Webster, and gets it done. Now there has been a change while we've been watching these replays. Jack Webster has gone down to 3rd place, and Christopher El Faghali, I believe, has moved up into 2nd. And that is confirmation there on your screens. So Webster down into 3rd place now. And Suleiman Zanfari, he may have thought he got away with this one, but now he's under pressure from the Lebanese driver, who is closing in. So it's Zanfari from El Faghali, from Webster, from Al-Fayez, Stiller, Jesus. It's McLaughlin now, Jesus. They've swapped positions, so McLaughlin up into 6th place and into the pit lane. And it's Sal Zerpa. Unfortunately, he was not able to finish the final. He looks to be in a little bit of discomfort there. Big shame. Wheel-to-wheel action here. That is Sophia Zanfari going through and going wheel-to-wheel there with the driver just behind, Mario Vigliotti. Vigliotti, I think, getting the position back through. So both Zanfaris making positions here. But Suleiman Zanfari leading the way still. There is Hamza Al-Fayez. Peter Stiller just behind as well. McLaughlin closing in. I don't think we've seen the end of this race just yet. I don't think Suleiman Zanfari's got the power here to break away from the field behind. El Faghali is looking very, very strong here, who started 5th, currently 2nd, and really pushing strong here in this midsection of the race. We're on lap 7 of 25 as the sun continues to set. This is probably the hardest conditions these drivers will face. A low sun in the sky into their eyes, and again a change here possibly for the lead. There's a bit of contact as they go wheel to wheel, and Zanfari and El Faghali again switch places. El Faghali to the lead, and here comes Jack Webster. Jack Webster going for the lead. No, he can't. Second place is all he can do. And Suleiman Zanfari back down into third place. Here's Hamza Al Fayez. He's close in as well. Here comes Finn McLaughlin wheel to wheel again to the inside of turn 11 with Peter Stiller. He can't quite do it. And now Hamza Al Fayez goes wheel to wheel with Jack Webster. Webster has to concede the spot, and Hamza Al Fayez is up into the top three. Hamza Al Fayez is in a podium position now as they all battle for position. Stiller is up into fourth place now as they cross the line. And look at them go. El Faghali from Zanfari. Then it's Hamza Al Fayez from Peter Stiller, Jack Webster and Finn McLaughlin. Rafael Jesus has closed back in as well. The same as George Nassar and the same as Austin Gale. And it looks like Adam Al-Azhari has also joined the back of this pack. We have got a huge 10-car battle for a near race lead, and the side pods come off. A side pod's come off for Kart. Now, who did that come off? And there's two. Oh, it's McLaughlin. McLaughlin's out of the race. And it is also that. It's Jack Webster. Webster and McLaughlin out of the race. The two favourites going into this one. The driver who started on pole and the championship leader out of the race. And that splits this wide open. Absolutely wide open. Suleiman Zanfari, who's currently there in second place, could be your champion at the end of this one. Across the line they go, and yes, Suleiman Zanfari leads the virtual championship. He has 45 championship points from himself and Christopher El Faghali. Christopher El Faghali can do nothing more. He is leading this race. A fastest lap would help him out, but he's leading the way. He is getting as maximum points as he can right now. And this is what happened. There was a side pod that we saw, a flash into the wall, and that's into the chicane. That was into the chicane there. And who was on the inside going into the corner? And I'm not too sure there who was on the inside going into that one, so I don't know who you would say was at fault, but obviously Finn McLaughlin there gesticulating wildly to Webster, I should say, and just saying, you were in the wrong spot there. There's another retirement. Unfortunately, that looks to me like that could be not Zachary Hurd. Zachary Hurd is also tumbling down the order. I'm not sure who that is that's retired at the side of the track, but drama then in this mid-stage of the race, and there's more drivers off the track. Now, is that Zach Hurd? It is Zach Hurd, who finished second on the podium yesterday, is now tumbling down the order and out of the race. So that is now first and second from yesterday's final, out of contention. Austin Gale, who was third on the podium yesterday, is still in this race. He is P5. He could still get away with a double podium here. So now, let's update you. The virtual championship has changed once more. Suleiman Zanfari with 45 points, Christopher El Faghali with 42, and now Peter Stiller is third with 38 points, joint with Austin Gale. But he is ahead of Gale here, and that's what would clinch it. The battle here, though, still closing in. They've closed back in on Christopher El Faghali. Oh, this race is far from over. Speaking to Peter Stiller yesterday, he wanted a podium, and he just missed out on it. And today, he has got an absolutely superb chance of trying to get it. Through the S's they go. El Faghali from Zanfari. Then it's Peter Stiller. Hamza Al Fayez, who's right there in P4, still has a chance. There is Austin Gale in the background with Rafael Jesus, George Nassar, Adam Al-Azhari, another one of the favourites going into this final today. Not able to capitalise on that second place start as they go through the chicane. No side-by-side action here this time around. As down in towards turn 8, here we go again, change for the lead. Zanfari to the inside, and Peter Stiller follows. So now it is Suleiman Zanfari from Morocco once again leading the way. Peter Stiller for Italy, they're in second place. And now the Lebanese driver, Christopher El Faghali, is there in third. And under pressure from Hamza Al Fayez, and he has actually lost out from Hamza Al Fayez. Hamza Al Fayez now up into the top three. This is a superb final that we are seeing here, and it's only half race distance. We're on lap 13 of 25. And right now, this is Suleiman Sanfari's best effort at getting away with a potential championship win and a top spot on the podium. As again they change. In third place, Christopher El Faghali on the inside of Hamza Al Fayez, and he moves up into P3 once more, and they're just losing time to these two here. The gap's opening up to about 0.6 of a second between these two and the drivers in third and fourth place. Here is a replay of a big moment there, and Hamza Al Fayez just sending it down the inside. A superb drive, and right now he's still fighting for that position. The race is still far from over. Sanfari still up, line astern, as they continue to control the pace of this race. Will they make it all the way to the end, though? That is the question. Here they go on lap 14. Down the inside. Can't quite do it through turn 8. And again, you can see the eyes of the drivers there as they go through. Peter Stiller, who started this one 8th. He sits there currently in P2, and he's fighting for the lead here. Down the hill they go. In towards the chicane, and again, very close here. Are we going to see a move? We are going to see a move to the inside as we cut away to a cut that's broken on the sidelines. It was the 244 that was broken, but the overtake happens, and what an overtake it was. And Peter Stiller now takes the lead of this race. It was Pip Casabene who was the cut that was stricken at the side of the circuit. The Australian is out of this race, but while that was happening, Peter Stiller takes the lead, and he now immediately starts to drive away from Suleiman Sanfari. Now, what does this do to the Virtual Championship? Well, I can tell you, Peter Stiller would lead it by 1 point. Peter Stiller has 46 championship points. Suleiman Sanfari has 45. The only thing Suleiman Sanfari can do is go for the fastest lap here or retake the lead. To the inside there through turn 16. It was perfectly timed, beautifully delivered, and just absolutely drives away with it. Peter Stiller leads the way. Christopher El Faghali still battling away with Hamza Al Fayez here. And Hamza just pushing harder and harder to try and get that position back. And I've got to say, Austin Gale's close back in here. Austin Gale still could have a chance of getting on the podium. Cooper Lyle, though, not spoken about him a lot. He's up 13 places. He's in P9. He's also got the fastest lap of the race. He's pushing his way through the field. The same as August Raber as well. He's also pushing his way through. He is up 16 places, the same as Marco Glittenpress as well, 17 positions gained. Change again for third. Hamza Al Fayez to the inside and says to Chris El Faghali, let's go, let's close this gap. But Austin Gale is right there behind, and he is wanting another podium here this evening. All of them going through. Oh, I thought it was going to the inside there, but he couldn't quite do it. George Nassar right behind as well. George Nassar in this battle as they go through, and here comes Austin Gale to the inside. Chris El Faghali leaving the door wide open to attack there, and Austin Gale is now up into P4 and is hunting down Hamza Al Fayez, who is slowly starting to drive away here. But he's got to be careful. He cannot push too hard. These tyres have been used and abused all the way through this weekend. But Peter Stiller now leads this 0.7 of a second. Look at that, he's driven away from Suleiman Sanfari, and he is driving towards a final win and a championship. Peter Stiller, who finished 5th yesterday, and he's looking at a first today as Emmanuel Leolaikis and Gabe Balanka in the pit lane. And for Gabe Balanka, it's a weekend, I think, to forget on this one. He's had some good results, but he's had some bad results, and he's ending the day with a retirement, which is a big shame. The same as Emanuela Liodakis there, both of them out. And that is a big, big shame for the Greek driver. Not the results he will have wanted. And yeah, looking like a potentially mechanical issue there with that hand gesture he was looking at. So then, on lap 18 of 25, Peter Stiller leads away from Sulaiman Zamfari. Hamza Al-Fayez still there in third place, but is under pressure here from Austin Gale. Austin Gale, who has closed right in now as he looks for a chance here. Not through 12, a little bit wide there through turn 10 was Hamza Al-Fayez. Brings it back onto the track though. Through they go, through 15, into the inside here. No, not quite close enough from that angle there. Looked like Austin Gale was going for the move. Hamza Al-Fayez though started this one 9th, currently 3rd. Looking very, very strong. Austin Gale, though, as well. 7 positions have been gained for him there in P4. He started this one P11 as he sits right behind in that toe. Through the chicane they go. Through turn 7, no chance of an overtake there. And you just saw the stricken cuts there of Jack Webster and Finn McLaughlin. A big shame for those two drivers. Right now, eyes are on this battle for 3rd. The last spot on the podium. And the last spot in the championship fight as well. Because Austin Gale, being in this position, would put himself back into 3rd in the championship as well. Which means he'd get away with a couple of extra trophies as he looks to the inside here through turn 16, and he gets it done. Austin Gale up into the podium spots here, and Hamza Al-Fayez has nothing to retaliate with just yet. And now George Nassar has a chance of getting down the inside here. Through in towards turn 3 they go, and Austin Gale is back on form here. And oh, there goes down the inside. George Nassar, wheel-to-wheel contact with Hamza Al-Fayez, and Hamza Al-Fayez gets spat out onto the grass on the exit of turn number 4. He recalculates his decisions here, and he gets back onto the track. Looks like the cart's relatively undamaged, but now he's going to be under pressure from Cooper Lyle. Cooper Lyle, who could possibly get away here with a P5 if he's quick enough. He's right there behind now, really closes in under braking here. Let's have a look at what happened there. A quick look down the inside, completely unsighted from Hamza Al-Fayez, and he just goes through. And that is a big, big shame, and gets kicked out to the grass. Kept his foot in it, I'll give him that. But kept his foot planted to the floor. And while we were looking at that, he has just lost 5th place. So Hamza Al-Fayez, who pleads with Cooper Lyle there to right, push, 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 go, go, go. Let's see if we can close up. So now it's Peter Stiller who leads with a gap of 2.2 seconds from Sulaiman Zamfari and Austin Gale, the top 3, and they are comfortably in those positions as well. It would also be the same position the championship finishes in as well if they stay there. Peter Stiller leading it with 46, Sulaiman Zamfari with 45, and Austin Gale with 44. Back here though, we are looking at the battle of Adam Al-Azhari and Mohamed Menemni as well, 12th and 13th place. But also battling for positions. They're in the last sort of point scoring opportunities here. As we look to a replay here, this was the overtake from Cooper Lyle. Nicely done. Slid into turn 16 there, sideways under braking, and nicely handled. Here's your driver in 2nd place, Sulaiman Zamfari from Morocco, who started this one P7, gaining 5 positions to be in 2nd place, but he's 2.7 seconds down from Peter Stiller. He was not able to match the pace here of Peter Stiller. Oh dear, and there's 2 cuts off there, and furious, absolutely furious, is Dritten Price. Dritten Price kicking the cart there, and not what he needs at all. And another cart off as well, the 2:31, and not going well at all. That is a disaster for Marco Dritten-Press and one other. Couldn't quite remember the number, the 218. The 218 that's gone off as well. That is Isaac de Melwyk, another one of the Australians now. That is 4 Australians out of the race now. with the 8 that are in this category. As you can hear there, I think one of the exhausts has come a little bit loose on one of the carts. There is Isaac de Melweek. And the driver from Australia, frustrated and out of this race. Couple of laps to go then, and it has been a controlled race for these drivers, but it's not controlled for second. This battle's far from over. Look at this. This is Austin Gale now into second place. I didn't think he would close the gap, but he did. Suleiman Zamfari now down into second place, and what does that do for the championship? They cross the timing beam, it will update, and Austin Gale would lead the virtual championship with that position. Austin Gale would lead with 48 points from Peter Stiller and Suleiman Zamfari with 41. Well, that position there has just busted the door wide open for Peter Stiller. He has no idea what's going on behind him. He thinks he's leading the way, and he possibly thinks he's leading the championship. But for Austin Gale, he has just thrown the door wide open and said, hello, here I am, and he's just put it on the virtual championship top spot. Look at him go. Austin Gale flying in this final with the last couple of laps, and he's just absolutely superb out there. Now the battle for third is still kicking off, because now Suleiman Zamfari is under pressure from George Nassar. George Nassar from the United Arab Emirates could get away with a podium here. Can he get it down the inside if Suleiman Zamfari hasn't used those tyres too much? And again, there's definitely a loose exhaust out there. I can hear it on the cameras. But as we go on to the final lap now, Peter Stiller leads by nearly 5 seconds, but he has no idea that the championship's just been split wide open. This man here, Austin Gale in second, is going for it, and there down the inside is George Nassar on Zamfari, and he gets it done on the final lap of the race. George Nassar, who started this race a little further down the order in P6, has gained several positions and has pushed himself up into the podium spots. But this man here, Peter Stiller, representing Italy, in through the final few corners. Round turn 12, he's got nothing on his mind here apart from getting this kart to the end of the race. Through the chicane he goes, and into the final corner. There is Austin Gale in second place, but there's your race leader. Out of the final corner, it's Peter Stiller from Italy. Across the line, he takes the win in the OKN Senior Final here at the Al Fassan International Sports Resort Kart Track. Peter Stiller is your winner, and what does that mean to him? Look at him. He gets second in the championship. Austin Gale finishes second in the race after gaining 9 positions. But he wins the virtual championship, and there is the confirmation that Peter Stiller sees that Austin Gale finished in P2. Suleiman Zamfari, I think, just held on to P3. I think the battle kicked off, and George Nassar actually crossed the line in P5, so we missed what happened there. Cooper Lyle actually finishing in P4 after gaining 18 positions, the highest ranking Australian in the senior category. Absolutely spot on. So Peter Stiller, Austin Gale and Suleiman Zamfari are your top 3 in this one. But for the virtual championship, it's Austin Gale, Peter Stiller and Suleiman Zamfari in that order. What a day of racing. What a week of racing. And what a way to end the first and inaugural round of the Champions of the Future Academy Programme. For the rest of the field there's a look at the grid. George Nassar, like we said, finishing in 5th place. Hamza Al-Fayez, unfortunately, dropping back to P6 at the end of that one from Augustus Reiber. Finishing in P7. And then the rest of the field, 20 places gained for August Reiber. Rafael Jesus finishing in 8th place from Christopher El Fagali, who was doing so well. Fortunately, dropping back to P9. Austin Lee finishes in 10th place from Elizaveta Kozlova. The highest ranking female driver out there goes to Elizaveta Kozlova from Mohamed Medemni and Romeo Nassar. Maximus Churrasco from Adam Alazari. Oscar Canoom from Alessandro Tedesca. Bernardo Bonaldi rounds out the top 18 from Brotak Stefan. Elijah Yulton from Alessandro Biggi. Sophia Zamfari rounds out the top 22 and the second highest ranking female driver in the category. 13 positions gained from Mario Vigliotti in 23rd. Then the retirements, there were many of them. Marco Drittenpress, Isaac de Melweek, Emanuele Liadikis, Gabe Balanka, Pip Casabene, Zachary Hurd, Jack Webster, Finn McLaughlin, Tabat Al-Tabar, Sal Zerpler, Ayesha Sabi, and Irina Kanina, unfortunately, all retiring from the race. But there, second place on track, but champion, Austin Gale, with 48 points to Peter Stiller's 46, and there's the smile on his face. Third yesterday, but first in the championship. Austin Gale can celebrate now. He can relax, and that smile is still on his face as he walks into the paddock to try and find someone to hug, I'm sure. And it could be his brother there. Brilliant stuff. His brother, Toby Gale, who also tried his hardest.
Thank you.
And the juniors there all congratulating Austin Gale on a superb championship win. Peter Stiller, though, taking the win in the final from this man, Austin Gale. Suleiman Zanfari with a superb drive as well. Suleiman Zanfari, who himself qualified well down the order today. He qualified 19th in Q2 on Monday for today. He fought his way through the races and he started this one P7, and he finds himself third on track in the final and third in the championship. The recovery job gets underway with the stricken carts now being cleared. That is Pip Casabene also coming back to Parc Fermé. And again, more carts getting pushed onto it there. The 2:13 as well. Zachary Hurd, who finished second in the final yesterday. This man here, though, Peter Stiller, your final winner. And he was saying yesterday, he really wanted that podium. He fought so hard for it yesterday, but it just was out of his reach, finishing P5. But today, he can celebrate on that top spot with a superb final win. Peter Stiller from Italy. Here's a look then at some of the highlights. And again, good start initially from Webster, breaking away well. And from Rafael Jesus, getting up into second place early doors, getting past Adam Al-Azhari. Al-Azhari not being there at all in the final, unfortunately. That outside row not working for him. He got swamped by the pack. And it was just a tumble down the order. There you can see him battling away, the green helmet coming through. But there, the red and white helmet, that is Suleiman Zanfari, who finished in third, who was leading for quite some way of the race as well. Some serious fighting all the way throughout this. McLaughlin to the inside there of Peter Stiller. You would think all the way back here, Peter Stiller wouldn't be battling for the lead of this race, let alone winning it, but certainly a huge fight for Peter Stiller from 8th on the grid. This was the moment we saw a change for the lead. Across the start-finish line, Suleiman Zanfari to the inside of Jack Webster, so close between the two of them. But Suleiman Zanfari would get the move, and he would drive away for quite some time, unaware that he had quicker drivers looming in behind him. And there you can see Christopher El Faghali trying to get involved in the battle. It was such a shame for Christopher El Faghali. He was looking so strong in this final. And unfortunately, he would just tumble down the order. But this was the moment that he gained positions. He got up into second. But from here, this is where it all would start to go wrong. As he tried to go to the inside here, he would make contact. That would bring everyone back into play here. Webster would smell an advantage, and then Faghali back to the inside. He would lead before he would start to fall down as he would go wheel to wheel. Suleiman Zanfari back to the inside of Webster. Hamza Al-Fayez came involved, and then this huge dramatic moment between Webster and Finn McLaughlin. And McLaughlin immediately out of the cart and gesturing towards Webster to say, what was that? But the race would continue despite the huge impact to the barriers. Zanfari back to the inside through turn number 8, and this is where Peter Stiller came into play. Peter Stiller, who just quietly snuck his way through the order as Hamza Al-Fayez sent it to the inside of Christopher El Faghali. They would continue to battle, but then this was the change for the lead. Down the inside through turn 16. And for Peter Stiller. From that point there, he would just drive away. Hamza Al Fayez still battling away. This is where Austin Gale came back into play, and he managed to get past both of them on the same lap. He would then go on to try and battle with Hamza Al Fayez. George Nassar would get through. This was the moment that Austin Gale got up into third place. But in all that time, it kind of snuck up on us that he caught up to the back of the rest of the field. That was the moment that George Nassar went to the inside of Hamza Al Fayez at turn number 4, which ended in a bit of contact. That was Cooper Lyle getting through as well on Hamza Al Fayez. That was the end that we saw of Hamza Al Fayez. He would drop all the way back to P6. That was the dramatic moment there for Demel Week and for Dritten Press. Marco Dritten Press very, very angry there, and huge damage to the front of his kart. Hamza Al Fayez still making the moves, though, through the field on his recovery drive. He would still battle away with the other drivers around him. Unfortunately, would end up in some retirements as well. But still good driving all the way throughout. Anwar Azari with Omar Ganoum. But it would be Peter Stiller who would take it across the line. A absolutely sublime final. And look what it means to him. Happy as anything under that helmet. He takes the final win. But he misses out on the championship, though. But he does not care about that whatsoever. He wins the final. And that's all he cares about. Peter Stiller on the top spot. And look at that smile. Brilliant. It really shows what it means to these drivers to win this. And there, Austin Gale, who finishes second on the track. But that smile shows that he is the champion.
Well, what a final it was for the OKN senior category. We'd like to now welcome onto the podium the International Business Development Manager for DHL, Riccardo Tozzoli, to present the third place trophy to our third place finalist, Suleiman Sanfari. We'd now like to welcome onto the podium the CEO of RGMSE, James Geidel, to present the second place trophy to Austin Gale. And finally, we would like to welcome onto the podium the Head of Admin and Government of Alphasan Holding, Ahmed Al-Shamsi, onto the podium to present the first place trophy to Peter Stiller. So if we ask our photographers to come forward, please, and some trophies up in the air, please, guys, and some big smiles. And we'd like to ask all of our dignitaries back onto the podium, please, to join our drivers in one big group photo on the top step of the podium, please. So if we could ask Roland, James, Ahmed and Riccardo back onto the podium, please, to join our drivers on the top step, guys, if you'd like to jump up and join us in one big trophy presentation photo. Brilliant stuff then for our Champions of the Future Academy Programme finalists. That is not the only presentations, of course. The championship presentations will be coming up in a short moment's time, so please do stay with us. But give it up, please, for a huge round of applause for your OKN senior finalists.